You look in the mirror and for a split second, you do not recognize the face looking back at you, because your mind is already comparing it to 1,000 flawless phantoms. It is a quiet, devastating kind of grief, mourning a version of yourself that was never real to begin with. If you have ever felt this silent theft of your own reflection, stay with me, and please consider subscribing to the Psyche Unfolding, because we are going to navigate this dark labyrinth together. I know exactly how this cycle begins. You wake up, the room is still heavy with sleep, and before your feet even touch the cold wooden floor, you are already looking through a small, glowing window in your hands. Through this polished glass, you are instantly transported into an endless, crowded gallery. It is a strange, overwhelming exhibition. Every portrait is bathed in perfect light. Every face is smooth, symmetrical, and completely devoid of exhaustion. You scroll through hundreds of these faces in a matter of mere minutes. You watch them smile, you watch them move with an effortless, fluid grace, and slowly, a cold, heavy sensation starts to settle in your chest. You are witnessing a parade of ghosts, though your deeply wired human mind registers them as flesh and blood tribe members. And as you absorb these images, an invisible measuring tape wraps around your own worth, pulling tighter and tighter until you can barely draw a full breath. This is the subtle poison of our daily ritual. I have sat with so many people who are fundamentally broken by this exact feeling, and I want you to know that I understand the profound depth of this exhaustion. It is a relentless, suffocating pressure that follows you into every room you enter. When you finally put the glowing glass down and walk into your own bathroom, the harsh, unforgiving light hits your face. You look at your reflection and suddenly you are hyper-aware of every pore, every shadow, every slight asymmetry. Your own skin feels like a rough, unfinished draft. You touch your cheek and wonder why it does not resemble the flawless marble you just spent an hour staring at. This is not simple vanity. Please, do not ever let anyone tell you that you are just being vain or shallow. This is a deep, disorienting alienation from your own physical form. You are experiencing a violent fracture between the reality of your body and the impossible geometry of the illusions you consume every single day. You begin to view yourself entirely from a third-person perspective. You are no longer living inside your body, experiencing the physical world through your own eyes. Instead, you are floating outside of yourself, constantly monitoring how you might look to an invisible audience. You sit on a comfortable couch and immediately worry about the natural folds of your skin. You laugh organically and then suddenly freeze, wondering if your face contorted in an unattractive way. It is a tragic kind of self-surveillance. You become both the harsh warden and the exhausted prisoner in a jail built entirely of mirrors. Imagine living in a beautifully worn, comfortable house. It has creaky floorboards, a few drafts in the winter, and paint peeling in the corners, but it keeps you warm. It is real. It is your sanctuary. Now imagine that every single day, someone forcefully drags you through a neighborhood of plastic mansions where the grass is painted a vibrant green, the sky is perpetually blue, and the windows are flawlessly spotless. After spending hours looking at those plastic mansions, you return to your real house, and suddenly you hate it. You hate the creaky floorboards. You want to tear down the walls. You no longer see it as a shelter, you only see it as a monumental failure. This is exactly what you are doing to your own body. You are abandoning your home because you have been hypnotized by a mirage. The anxiety that stems from this is like a wound-up clockwork ticking furiously inside your chest. It dictates what you wear, how you stand, and how you allow yourself to be seen by the world. You start to curate your own existence. You learn to hide your angles, to suck in your breath, to present a carefully managed version of yourself to everyone around you, terrified that someone might discover the messy, unpolished truth beneath the facade. You are living in a state of constant vigilance, guarding a secret that is not even a secret, it is just fundamental humanity. You feel heavy, sluggish, dragging a shadow of inadequacy that stretches for kilometers behind you. You are mourning a gap between who you are and a synthetic ideal that no human being has ever actually achieved. I have watched this silent tragedy unfold so many times, this slow erasure of self-love, and it breaks my heart because it is based on a magnificent lie. But here is the truth that we so often forget when we are lost in that endless gallery. I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. The images you are measuring your worth against do not exist. They are not real. I have looked deeply into the mechanics of this illusion, and I have seen the wires holding up the stage. What you are looking at through that glowing glass is a carefully constructed theatre of shadows. You are comparing your unscripted, behind-the-scenes reality, your messy hair, your morning breath, your tired eyes, your very real human exhaustion, to someone else's heavily edited, brightly lit center stage performance. Think about the greatest pieces of art in human history. The paintings and sculptures that move us to tears are never mathematically perfect. They are expressive. They carry the heavy brushstrokes of their creator. They show the tension of real emotion. We do not stand in front of a breathtaking painting and criticize it because a single line is crooked. We let it make us feel something profound. Yet you deny yourself that same basic grace. You are fighting a ghost, and you are losing because a ghost does not have pores. A ghost does not bloat after eating a meal. A ghost does not have scars, or stretch marks, or days where gravity just feels too heavy to bear. You are punishing your beautiful, living, breathing body for not being a two-dimensional phantom. Think about how heartbreakingly tragic that is. Your body is a miraculous, complex system that fights off illness, heals wounds, and carries you through massive storms, and you are angry at it because it does not look like a manipulated arrangement of light and shadows. The perfection you see is a frozen fraction of a second, entirely devoid of context. It is an image completely divorced from the suffering, the profound insecurity, and the desperate validation seeking of the person who created it. We crave this sterile perfection because we are afraid of our own vulnerability. We are terrified of decay, of aging, of being unloved, so we seek out these flawless avatars as a shield against the chaotic reality of life. But when you realize this, the illusion shatters. The plastic mansion dissolves into dust. You see it for what it is, a desperate, hollow attempt to freeze time and deny the beautiful, messy reality of being a living creature. So how do we find our way back from this dark place? How do we stop this silent, devastating war against our own reflections? We have to step out of the gallery. We have to intentionally put down the glowing glass. You must deliberately break the spell by grounding yourself in the undeniable, tactile truth of the physical world around you. Go outside and look at a massive tree in a dense forest. Notice how its branches grow in chaotic, unpredictable directions. Notice the rough, deeply ridged bark. You would never look at a hundreds of years old oak tree and criticize it for not being perfectly symmetrical. You would never call it ugly because its roots are tangled and twisted in the soil. You recognize its wild, untamed beauty. You belong to the exact same earth as that tree. You are governed by the exact same laws of nature, not the sterile, unforgiving laws of an artificial exhibition. I want you to start focusing on what your body can experience, rather than what it looks like from the outside. Feel the intense warmth of a ceramic mug of tea radiating into your cold hands. Feel the damp, solid earth under your bare feet. Trace the intricate, branching lines on your own palms. Those lines are not flaws, they are undeniable proof of life. They are the beautiful map of your existence, carved by every experience you have ever had. When you breathe in the sharp, crisp air of a foggy winter morning, feel your lungs expand against your ribs. That is the feeling of being alive. Your body is not a decorative ornament. It is not a static piece of art meant to be constantly evaluated, measured and judged by a jury of strangers. It is a vessel. Think about the ocean for a moment. It does not apologize for its crashing waves. It does not try to smooth itself out to be more presentable or pleasing to the eye. It is vast, deep, and constantly changing, and that is exactly what makes it so incredibly beautiful. When you try to force your body into a rigid, unnatural shape, you are trying to calm a stormy sea with your bare hands. It is an impossible, exhausting task. Just let the waves crash. Let your body be exactly what it is in this current season of your life. It is the only ship you have been given to navigate the stormy, magnificent, terrifying ocean of this life. As you slowly pull your attention away from the ghosts, and bring it back to your physical form, you will feel the anxiety begin to drain away into the earth. The wound-up clockwork inside your chest starts to slow down, tick by tick. You realize that you do not need to perform anymore. You do not need to shrink, or starve, or artificially alter yourself to fit into a synthetic, impossible mold. You can just exist. You are allowed to take up space in this world exactly as you are. If this journey has brought you even a fraction of peace, please subscribe to the Psyche Unfolding, so we can continue to find our way back to reality together. We have so many more paths to walk, and you do not have to walk them alone. Imagine taking a heavy, stone-filled backpack that you have been carrying for hundreds of kilometers, and finally letting it slip from your tired shoulders. Let it hit the ground with a heavy thud. That backpack is the impossible expectation of perfection. You do not have to carry it for one more second. You are allowed to be exhausted. You are allowed to be flawed. You are allowed to be wonderfully, perfectly, messily human. Look in the mirror again tonight, but this time, do not look with the harsh, clinical gaze of a critic. Look with the gentle, deeply forgiving eyes of a friend who has known you your entire life. Look at the face that has bravely survived every hard day, every heartbreak, and every silent panic attack you have ever lived through. It is a profoundly beautiful, real face. The storm is finally passing. The heavy, suffocating fog is lifting from the forest road, revealing the clear sky above. You are safe in your own skin. You are finally home.